the age of the internet, where the world is at our fingertips and kindness is often championed as the ultimate virtue. But have you ever paused to consider the potential pitfalls of too much kindness? I know it sounds absurd, doesn't it? But bear with me, fellow Stoic, for there's a lesson from the ancients that we might have overlooked in our modern quest to be the kindest version of ourselves. You see, the Stoics, those wise old souls from ancient Greece and Rome, had a thing or two to say about the balance of virtues. Stay strong, they'd advise, but concentrate on virtue. And while generosity is undoubtedly a virtue, like all good things, it can be taken to an extreme. Over-generosity, my friends, can sometimes backfire in ways we least expect. Now, before you raise an eyebrow and think I've gone off the deep end, let's embark on a journey together. A journey where we'll explore 8 unexpected ways that an overflow of kindness might just trip us up. We'll dive deep into the teachings of Stoicism, drawing wisdom from the likes of Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius. And as we do, I challenge you to reflect on your own acts of kindness. Are they always in balance? Or have you, like many of us, occasionally tipped the scales? If you're new here, and this sounds like a journey you're eager to embark on, then give that notification bell a good old ring and subscribe. Go on, I dare you. Together, we'll navigate the intricate dance of virtue, finding the sweet spot between too little and too much. Fellow seekers of wisdom, stay with me as we dive into the unexpected pitfalls of over-generosity, because sometimes the most profound lessons come from the most unexpected places. 1. Taking on too much. We've all been there, haven't we? You're at a friend's gathering and someone mentions they're moving house next weekend. Before you know it, your hand shoots up, "I'll help!" But deep down, you're already swamped with your own tasks. The Stoics believed in living in accordance with nature, which means understanding our own limits. Overcommitting isn't just about stretching yourself thin, it's about not being true to yourself. Imagine life as a teacup. Each commitment, each promise is a drop of tea. Pour in too much and it overflows, making a mess. The Stoics would say, know the size of your cup. It's not about being unkind, it's about being kind to yourself first. Now, I'm not saying don't help your friend move, but maybe offer to help pack a few boxes instead of committing to the whole day. It's the little gestures that often mean the most, and they're much more manageable. Remember that time you promised to help at the school fair, attend a birthday party, and visit your grandma all in one day. By the end of it, you were probably exhausted, irritable, and not very present in any of the activities. That's the weight of overcommitment. So, next time, pause before you promise. Reflect on your own capacity. It's not selfish, it's sensible. 2. Always trying to make everyone happy. The age-old desire to be liked by everyone. It's a trap many of us fall into. You say yes when you want to say no, laugh at jokes you don't find funny, and agree with opinions you don't share. But here's the thing. Stoicism teaches us that we can't control others' opinions. So why try? People-pleasing might seem like a form of kindness, but it's often more about our own insecurities. And let's be real, it's exhausting. You're constantly juggling masks, trying to be someone you're not. And for what? Temporary approval. I once knew a bloke named Tim. Lovely guy, but he'd bend over backwards just to get a nod of approval. One day, he wore a shirt he didn't like because a friend gifted it to him. He spent the entire day feeling uncomfortable, all for the sake of not wanting to upset his friend. But here's the kicker. His friend didn't even notice. The Stoics believed in authenticity. Be true to yourself, and the right people will gravitate towards you. And those who don't? Well, you can't please everyone, can you? 3. Thinking you can change people. There's a saying, You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Stoicism echoes this sentiment. We can't control others, only our reactions to them. Yet, many of us with our big, kind hearts try to fix people. We think our love, our advice, our kindness can change them. But often, it can't. Think of that friend who always dates the wrong people. You've given advice, listened to their heartbreaks, and even set them up with someone lovely. Yet, they fall into the same patterns. It's frustrating, isn't it? But here's the thing. Everyone is on their own journey. And while it's kind to offer a helping hand, we can't walk their path for them. The Stoics believed in focusing on our own actions and letting go of the need to control everything else. It's tough, especially when you care deeply. But sometimes, the kindest thing you can do is step back and let people make their own choices, even if they're mistakes. 4. Letting others use you. Kindness is a beautiful thing, but like all good things, too much of it can be harmful. When we're constantly kind, always available, and perpetually agreeable, people might start taking it for granted. It's not always intentional, but it happens. Remember Lucy from the office? She'd always bring in homemade treats. At first, everyone was grateful, but over time, it became an expectation. The one day she didn't bring anything, there were murmurs of disappointment. Poor Lucy felt unappreciated and hurt. The Stoics teach us about the impermanence of things. Just as we shouldn't get too attached to external rewards, we shouldn't become too accustomed to constant acts of kindness from others. And on the flip side, if we're always the givers, we should ensure we're not being taken for granted. It's a balance, really. Be kind, but also set boundaries. Let people know that while your kindness is a gift, it's not an obligation. 5. Forgetting to care for yourself. In our quest to be kind to others, we often forget about ourselves. We put others' needs above our own, thinking it's the noble thing to do. But Stoicism reminds us of the importance of self-care. If we neglect ourselves, how can we be of any use to others? Imagine you're a car. If you don't refuel, how can you drive others around? You'll end up broken down on the side of the road. It's the same with constantly prioritizing others. Eventually, you'll burn out. I've seen it happen with my mate, Alex. He'd always be there for everyone, always putting himself last, until one day he just snapped. He was tired, drained, and felt unappreciated. It wasn't pretty. So, take time for yourself. It's not selfish, it's essential. The Stoics knew the importance of reflection and self-care. After all, a well-maintained soul is better equipped to handle the world's challenges. The fact that you've made it this far into the video shows you're committed to self-improvement. Stay with me until the end, as the last 3 insights are even more crucial. I'll see you at the finish. 6. Avoiding disagreements at all costs. Nobody likes conflict. It's uncomfortable, awkward, and just plain unpleasant. So in our bid to be kind, we often avoid it. We let things slide, keep our opinions to ourselves, and swallow our feelings. But Stoicism teaches us that sometimes conflict is necessary. Avoiding conflict might seem kind in the short term, but it can lead to bigger issues down the road. Small annoyances can fester into deep resentments. Unspoken feelings can lead to misunderstandings. Remember that time your flatmate kept leaving dirty dishes around? Instead of addressing it, you cleaned up after them, thinking it was the kind thing to do. But over time, your annoyance grew, and one day you exploded over something trivial. The Stoics believed in facing challenges head-on. It's not about picking fights, but addressing issues before they become problems. It's kinder in the long run, both to yourself and to others. 7. Giving too much. Generosity is a virtue, but But like all virtues, it can be taken to an extreme. In our bid to be kind, we sometimes give more than we can afford, whether it's time, money, or resources. And while the intention is noble, the outcome can be detrimental. Think of it this way: if you keep draining your bank account to help others, eventually you'll go bankrupt. And then, how can you help anyone? The Stoics believed in moderation. It's about finding the balance between giving and retaining. I once knew a woman, Sarah, who'd always lend money to friends. She wanted to help, and it felt good. But over time, she found herself struggling financially, and when she needed help, those she'd assisted were nowhere to be found. It's a harsh lesson, but an important one. Be generous, but also be wise. Ensure your own needs are met before helping others. It's not about being stingy, it's about being sustainable. 8. Needing others' approval. The digital age has transformed the way we perceive and express kindness. While many share their good deeds online, it's essential to question our motivations. Are we acting out of genuine compassion, or are we seeking validation? Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be one." This timeless wisdom reminds us that true virtue lies in our actions, not in the recognition they receive. Sharing our deeds can inspire others, but it's crucial to ensure our intentions remain pure. When kindness becomes a transaction, its authenticity wanes. The Stoics taught that instead of seeking external validation, we should focus on the intrinsic value of our actions. By doing good for its own sake, we embrace the true essence of virtue. Well, there we have it, the winding road of kindness, with its unexpected twists and turns. Who'd have thought, right? In our world of likes, shares, and endless scrolling, it's easy to forget the age-old wisdom of the Stoics. But as we've seen, their teachings are as relevant today as they were centuries ago. Now, fellow Stoics, as we stand at the crossroads of reflection and action, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever found yourself caught in the snare of excessive kindness? Your stories are the stars that light up this Stoic community, guiding and inspiring fellow travelers on the path of life. Ever heard the saying, "Don't set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm"? It's a powerful reminder connected to ancient Stoic wisdom about the importance of balancing kindness with self-care. Yet, in today's rush to be seen as good, to always be the one who gives, many have twisted the noble act of kindness into a self-destructive habit. We are often told to go above and beyond, to push our limits for the sake of others. But at what cost? The truth is, too much kindness, when it drains your own resources, energy, and well-being, is not a virtue, but a path to ruin. Many have lost their way, giving so much of themselves that they're left feeling empty, unappreciated, and burned out. It's a modern-day tragedy where the best of intentions lead to the worst of outcomes. Stoicism shows us another way. A way to be generous without losing oneself. A way to be kind but also kind to oneself. It teaches us the art of balanced generosity, ensuring our actions enrich others' lives, while also safeguarding our own well-being. In this video, we'll unveil how Stoic principles can help you set healthy boundaries, so your kindness becomes a source of strength, not depletion. We'll explore how to give without losing, love without hurting, and be there for others without disappearing from our own lives. Stay with us as we navigate the fine line between generosity and self-preservation, guided by the wisdom of Stoicism. 1. Don't set yourself on fire to warm others. Too much kindness can become a trap, one that Marcus Aurelius, a wise Stoic philosopher, would caution us against. Imagine yourself as someone who always rushes to help others, never saying no. It's like giving out pieces of yourself until there's nothing left. You become the person who's always there for others, but when you look around you find yourself standing alone in your time of need. It's not just about being kind, it's about being kind to yourself as well. Marcus would remind us that our first duty is to our own well-being. Without it, we can't genuinely be there for others. Consider the story of two neighboring gardeners, one who meticulously cared for their own garden, and another who, despite having their own plot, frequently tended to everyone else's gardens. The diligent gardener, understanding the importance of self-care, nurtured their garden with the right balance of attention and resources, resulting in a vibrant and flourishing space. This gardener's plot was not only a source of personal joy, but also provided surplus produce to share with neighbors. On the other hand, the disproportionately giving gardener spent so much time and effort on others' gardens that their own plot became neglected. Without proper care, their garden wilted, and the yields were meager. In their quest to be helpful, they overlooked their own needs, leaving their garden, and metaphorically themselves, depleted. Let this be a reminder to reflect before diving headfirst into helping others. Ask yourself, is this help sustainable? Am I preserving my well-being? The ancient Stoics would encourage us to practice Stoicism by setting healthy boundaries and ensuring that in our quest to be kind, we do not forget to be kind to ourselves. After all, you can't pour from an empty cup. In Stoicism, the aim is to maintain your inner peace and integrity while contributing positively to the lives of others, ensuring a balanced and fulfilling life for both you and those you wish to help. 2. Reciprocity has an expiration date. Generosity is a virtue that enriches our lives and those around us, yet it harbors a subtle trap when done without moderation. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy still echoing wisdom in our modern hustle, teaches us a critical lesson about the limits of kindness. Offering help with an open heart is noble, but expecting the same measure of generosity in return can lead us down a path of disappointment. Life has a way of showing us that the good we do today might not be remembered tomorrow. This isn't a reflection of our worth or the value of our deeds, but a natural drift of human memory and gratitude. Consider the act of giving as planting a tree. You nurture it, hoping it will grow, and perhaps one day offer shade or fruit. But nature has its course. Storms, droughts, and seasons change. Similarly, when we extend kindness, we must detach from the expectation of a direct return. The Stoics, particularly Epictetus, advise us to focus on our actions, not their outcomes. Some things are within our control and some things are not, he stated, reminding us that the joy of giving should come from the act itself, not from the anticipation of repayment. Embracing this mindset shields us from the sting of unmet expectations. It teaches us emotional resilience, allowing us to continue being kind and generous without feeling depleted or taken advantage of. This doesn't mean we should harden our hearts, but rather that we should find balance. Recognize the impact of your kindness as a reflection of your character, not a transaction. By doing so, we not only protect our peace of mind, but also cultivate a form of generosity that is pure, self-sustaining, and genuinely fulfilling. This Stoic principle encourages us to give freely but wisely, ensuring our kindness enriches us regardless of how the world responds. In your daily interactions, how can you apply the Stoic principle of giving without expectation? Think about a specific scenario where you can offer kindness or support without seeking anything in return, and consider the practical steps you might take to ensure your generosity remains a source of personal fulfillment rather than depletion. 3. Received requests have no limits. Reflecting on history, it's fascinating to observe the extreme services royalty demanded, from dressing to personal hygiene, all performed by attendants. Fast forward to today, and it's clear that people still have expectations of us, often asking for favors they could easily handle themselves. Stoicism shines a light on this, teaching us the value of setting boundaries and embracing moderation. This ancient philosophy serves as a beacon, guiding us through the sea of endless requests, enabling us to act with intention and preserve our emotional well-being. Stoicism isn't about denying help, but about finding balance, ensuring we don't lose ourselves while supporting others. Take, for instance, the poignant tale of a mother and her adult daughter in a quaint town. The mother, out of love, cared for her daughter to the point of preventing her from embracing her responsibilities. This dynamic continued until the mother's untimely demise, which surprisingly catalyzed the daughter's independence. This story underlines a crucial lesson. While our intentions may be pure, excessive support can inadvertently stifle growth. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, encapsulated this wisdom in his meditation. A man's job is to stand upright, not to be kept upright by others. This insight urges us to encourage self-reliance, fostering a balance that benefits everyone involved. Seneca, with his profound insights into human connections, observed, "He who begins to be your friend because of the benefit will also cease because of the benefit." This serves as a powerful reminder to nurture relationships based on genuine connections rather than transactional interactions. True friendship and support should not hinge on what we can offer, but on mutual respect and understanding. Stoicism teaches us to value ourselves not for what we can give, but for who we are, cultivating self-esteem and authentic connections. Stoicism empowers us to embrace moderation, setting boundaries to protect our well-being while still extending genuine support to others. By prioritizing our responsibilities and honoring our needs, we not only preserve our authenticity, but also engage in more meaningful acts of generosity. This balanced approach to life and relationships ensures that we remain true to ourselves and our values, leading a life of virtue and fulfillment. As we navigate the demands of modern life, let us remember that being mindful of our own needs is not selfishness, but a necessary act of self-care. 4. Being seen and treated as fragile. Stoicism teaches us a powerful lesson about inner resilience and self-command. It's about building a fortress within, honing the art of self-restraint, and drawing clear lines in the sand that define our personal space. Over time, constantly bending over backward for others can ironically lead to being perceived as weak. Without firm boundaries, we become exposed, easily exploited, by those who see our generosity not as a strength, but as an opening to take advantage of. This cycle of overextension and exploitation drains us, leaving us feeling undervalued and overburdened. Yet, the moment we start to assertively say no, a shift occurs. We're no longer the go-to for every request or demand. This assertiveness broadcasts a newfound respect for ourselves, signaling to others that we value our time and energy, warranting their respect in return. Cicero, a luminary in the Stoic philosophy, encapsulated this when he asserted, "What you think of yourself is much more important than what others think of you." By setting boundaries and exercising self-discipline, we not only protect our mental and emotional well-being, but also command respect from those around us. Remember, the power of no is transformative. It's a declaration of self-worth and a testament to the respect you demand from the world. Embrace this mantra and watch as it reshapes the dynamics of your relationships, fostering a mutual respect grounded in dignity and self-value. However, embodying this change isn't without its challenges. Being universally available often attracts those seeking aid, sidelining you when the time for celebration comes. It's a harsh reality where your open-heartedness might lead to exclusion from moments of joy, confined to the role of the helper, absent in times of leisure. This realization, though bitter, serves as a litmus test for discerning genuine connections from opportunistic ones. It's a Stoic exercise in recognizing the true value of relationships, encouraging a mindful approach to whom we offer our time and energy. Did you know that the practice of setting boundaries, a core Stoic principle, not only improves our personal well-being, but also enhances the quality of our relationships? It's a curious but true aspect of human psychology. When we respect ourselves enough to say no, we often gain the respect of others. This paradoxical effect highlights the transformative power of self-respect and the importance of discernment in our connections. By embracing Stoic wisdom, we not only protect ourselves from burnout, but also cultivate relationships that are truly enriching and reciprocal. If you have learnt anything of value so far, leave a thumbs up to show your support. Now let's discuss strategies to avoid being used by others and to avoid the dangers of too much kindness. First strategy: eliminate the fear of saying no. Reflect deeply on why the word no often feels so heavy, tracing its weight back to early lessons that equated niceness with acceptance. Such lessons, deeply ingrained during our formative years, come laced with a fear of rejection, shaping a belief system that equates our worth with perpetual accommodation. Yet the philosophy of Stoicism invites us to challenge and dissect these ingrained notions, advocating for a life of deliberate choice rather than one led by the undercurrents of past conditioning. As adults, we wield the autonomy to redefine our interactions, recognizing that the fears instilled in us as children no longer hold sway. Through the lens of Stoicism, we're equipped with the mental tools to analyze our emotions, allowing us to respond to life's demands with thoughtfulness rather than being puppeteered by past habits. Asserting boundaries by saying no, especially when requests encroach upon our well-being or sense of fairness, becomes not just an act of defiance against outdated fears, but a profound exercise in self-respect and autonomy. However, it's crucial to balance our newfound assertiveness with empathy and emotional intelligence. Stoicism doesn't merely advocate for self-interest or isolation, but stresses the importance of contributing positively to our community and the lives of those around us. The philosophy encourages us to find a middle ground where we can offer help and support to others without compromising our well-being. This is where emotional intelligence comes into play, allowing us to discern when and how to help in a manner that is both beneficial to others and sustainable for us. Recognizing the genuine needs of others while also being mindful of our own limits is a testament to true Stoic wisdom. It ensures that our acts of kindness are not only acts of self-discipline, but also of compassion and understanding, fostering a society where mutual respect and support thrive. Second strategy: pay attention to your feelings. Embracing Stoicism nudges us toward introspection and mindfulness. guiding us to scrutinize our thoughts and emotions, fostering mental resilience. This ancient wisdom encourages us to become custodians of our inner peace by observing our reactions and feelings, especially in acts of generosity. It teaches us that true fulfillment in assisting others should elevate us, akin to the buoyancy of clouds. Conversely, feelings of exhaustion, irritation, or exploitation signal a need to recalibrate. It's essential to recognize when our contributions, though not obligatory, begin to erode our serenity. Acknowledging this discomfort is not self-deception, but a courageous act of self-care, ensuring that our benevolence remains a source of joy rather than a drain on our spirit. Third strategy, see yourself as a priority. It's easy to become a maestro in the most obscure fields, yet completely overlook our own well-being. Echoing the Stoic virtues of discipline and self-esteem, carving out moments for self-care is non-negotiable. Stoicism, after all, nurtures the soul, teaching us the art of self-preservation. So, sidestep self-neglect. Nurture your physical, emotional, and mental health. Acknowledge your presence. Elevate your needs. This approach demands your full commitment. Embrace your entirety. Forgive your past missteps. And view the unfolding year as a canvas for Stoic renewal. Select an endeavor solely for your pleasure, honoring this time as a testament to self-love. Uphold your boundaries without guilt in declining others. If demands encroach on your sanctuary, offer assistance within your constraints, underscoring that your personal revival takes precedence. Fourth strategy, identify the takers. Embracing Stoic virtues like self-discipline and discernment empowers us to distinguish relationships that enrich us from those that deplete our spirit. Engaging with individuals who perpetually demand more, be it in terms of attention, time, or resources, mirrors a dynamic where we, the nurturers, are left exhausted, our energies sapped by the insatiable. Stoicism teaches us the value of inner fortitude, reminding us that change is a door only one can unlock for oneself. Believing we can transform others through sheer goodwill is a fallacy. True transformation is a personal journey, ignited by individual willpower, not external interventions. This philosophy doesn't advocate for cold-heartedness, but champions a balanced approach to relationships. It's a dance of give and take, where excessive generosity can leave us barren, while stinginess isolates us. Stoicism encourages us to harness our capacity for kindness and generosity, yet also to wield the sword of discernment, cutting ties when necessary for our well-being. It's about finding equilibrium, ensuring our acts of kindness are not at the expense of our own vitality. Remember, the strongest relationships are those where both parties grow, not where one wilts so the other can bloom. Stoicism invites us to strike a balance, compelling us to carefully evaluate our actions and their impacts. It emphasizes the importance of maintaining equilibrium in our generosity, urging us not to exhaust our resources to the detriment of our primary objective, living a fulfilling life. Conversely, it warns against being overly cautious in our giving, suggesting instead that we use our generosity wisely. Seneca, a luminary of Stoic thought, captures this ethos perfectly. Kindness is a treasure. A benefit should be kept like a buried treasure, to be unearthed only in case of necessity. His words encourage us to be prepared to act benevolently towards others, acknowledging the deep bond that connects all humans. What resonated with you most in today's discussion? Let us know in the comments. If this message was valuable to you, and you're curious to learn more about how Stoicism can enhance your life, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support is crucial in helping us share knowledge and continue creating content that resonates with you. Together, let's build a community of curious minds, eager to learn and grow. We are told that we should be kind and put other people's needs ahead of our own. But does anyone tell us that being too kind and caring can be dangerous? We live in a world where we don't always get what we give, because it's full of generous people who see how their giving empties them both, financially and emotionally. Could being too kind even put our own lives in danger? Be surprised by the bad things that can happen to you when you're kind. Today, I'll tell you 8 bad things that can happen to you if you're too nice. And I'll show you 4 tough ways to keep people from taking advantage of you. Let's move on to number 1 without further ado. You will have too high of hopes for people. The Stoics said that we should accept things as they are and not depend on what other people do to make us happy. Giving without asking too much in return keeps you from being disappointed and helps you practice emotional separation, which gives you a calmer mind. Whether we are aware of it or not, it's hard for us to be fully selfless when we give. When we give everything we have, we expect everyone else to do the same. When it's us who need something important, though, you've gotten people so used to having everything done for them that they'll take it for granted that you can handle everything in their lives and yours, especially your own, because if you don't take care of your own, why would you take care of other people's? In reality, your hopes of reciprocity won't be met, and you'll end up with a bad mood, tiredness, anger, and sadness. Still, if we look at it objectively, people aren't letting you down. They're just doing what you should be doing, which is taking care of their own tasks. People will only expect you to give them something, which is the second point. The Stoics say that it's important to remember that real worth comes from acting in a way that is good and logical, not from just doing what other people want. Moderation and giving in a balanced way help you stay in charge of your actions and keep you from getting into habits that hurt your mental health. You've heard your whole life that people are creatures of habit, and this couldn't be more true. People are made to adapt to a pattern, a way of life, and a symphony of things going on around them. The idea of the comfort zone comes from this desire to change. This means that if you're always giving, the people you help will expect you to give them something all the time. You'll lead them into their comfort zones, and they won't have to do many of their responsibilities because you'll be there to do them. If you don't value yourself, no one is likely to look you in the eyes and tell you to think more about yourself. At least don't expect this kind of empathy from the people you help, because they'd stick to their own Robin Hood, which would cost them a lot in their lives. Third, your goals will not be taken into account. The Stoics said that it's important to live by reason and virtue, to set limits, and to put our own responsibilities first if we want to stay in balance and not give up our identity and well-being for other people. If you put everyone else's needs before your own, you may end up running away from something inside you that hurts and scares you. How do you feel when you spend the weekend alone or come home every day knowing no one is there to greet you? If you're doing so many different things because you want to get away from yourself, the blow will be twice as hard because, on the one hand, you'll have to face yourself sooner or later, and on the other, your bad mood will get worse as you start to put other people's needs before your own. Self-care is one of the most important parts of being healthy. Before you can help others feel better, you need to make sure you're happy, spoiled, and well cared for. That is, you should never give someone a chocolate unless you've first really enjoyed one yourself. Similarly, you shouldn't offer to clean a friend's house until you've cleaned your own and watched a good movie while sipping wine. The rest of the world comes after you. 4. People will think you are weak and treat you that way. Stoicism tells us to work on being strong and in charge of ourselves. By setting limits and practicing self-discipline, we can show others that we are committed to our own responsibilities and ideals, earning their respect instead of being seen as weak. If you help other people too much over time, you might be seen as an expert in the area where you work with other people. You might be making the exact opposite impression. When you don't set limits, people start to see you as weak, just like the person who opposes a boss. So much so that they'll come to you to get rid of their responsibilities because they know you won't say no. On the contrary, as soon as you use this magic word, they will start to feel something for you. They never thought they would. Respect. You'll have a lot of buts, or people who only come to you when they need something. Stoicism teaches us how important it is to be smart and wise. By choosing who to help with self-control and perspective, we can tell the difference between real people and those who want to take advantage, so we don't waste our time or energy on things that don't help. People who thought you were a good friend all of a sudden only want to hang out with you when they need something. If you think about it logically, it's not so unlikely that this could happen to you, since most people don't invite their employees or co-workers to have coffee with them, let alone a beer. What's going on with you makes sense, but that doesn't mean it's fair. So, you need to learn how to handle the methods I'll tell you about at the end to keep people from taking advantage of you. Sixth, you'll only get people who want something and never those who want to give. With patient judgment, we can build relationships that are real and good for both parties. People come into our lives because their energies match up with ours. That is, if we vibrate low, we attract people who are negative, depressed, have dark souls, and want to hurt us. When our vibrations are high, on the other hand, we draw people who are full of good energy, kindness, excitement, hard work, and joy. Because of this, when we give to everyone, we lose so much energy that we start vibrating at a low frequency. This makes needy people feel drawn to us, as well as opportunists who don't even want to help and only want to take what they can from us and leave without even saying thank you. 7. You could end up getting hooked on something. The Stoics taught people to be calm and in charge of themselves. Self-discipline in giving keeps us from getting stuck in bad habits and lets us keep a good relationship with our actions and choices. When shortage is a regular part of our lives, the need for something grows, which is the best way to get addicted. So, one day, someone close to you might notice that you drink too much and not just spring waiter. They might also notice that you eat too much or even gamble too much. Pay close attention to what someone who cares about you says, because your first instinct may be to get mad at them and tell them you don't have any problems. But this is how people usually act when they are so caught up in their own problems that they can't see that they have one. Always remember that people who care about you want what's best for you, so pay close attention to what they say because they're trying to help you stop falling and move forward. Number 8. You'll make people think twice. Stoicism tells us to do good things no matter what other people think of us. By focusing on living in line with our beliefs and principles, we build a good image that can withstand false accusations. No matter how much we'd like things to be different, the truth is that there aren't that many kind people in the world. So, if you are one, people will be suspicious of you instead of being impressed and thankful. It won't be long before your kindness makes people wonder what's going on with you and what plans you have that you don't tell anyone about. This could mean you've met a group of suspicious people, but it's more likely that they're just being honest. Most people who want to help too much are hiding such evil plans that it's best to stay away from them and refuse the help they offer. Now, let's look at what you can do to stop people from taking advantage of you. Strategy number 1. Pay attention to how you feel because it's telling you something. Based on the Stoic idea of self-awareness, pay attention to how you feel. The Stoics thought it was important to think about yourself to understand your feelings and wants. By paying attention to your feelings, you can tell if you're giving too much and wearing yourself out mentally. This lets you change your focus and find a good balance. How does it make you feel to help other people? Thinking about yourself and putting yourself first is such a kind thing to do that you should feel like you're walking on clouds when you do it. So, if you feel too busy, tired, angry, or used, it's time to listen to how you feel. If something you don't have to do makes you feel so bad, you shouldn't lie to yourself about it. Instead, find out how the help you're giving affects your health. Plan number 2. Don't be afraid of the word no. Following the lessons of the Stoics, you should realize that your time and energy are important and need to be used in a balanced way. Self-control can be shown by being able to say no when you feel too busy or when the request is unfair. Even though the word no makes us think of bad things and sadness, it's normal for us to find it hard to say it. But if we don't learn to say this word when someone wants more from us than we can give, pessimism will take over our lives. Practice in front of the mirror and tell yourself that it's the only way to regain your freedom and avoid unnecessary and possible risks. Strategy 3. You have a time and a place for yourself. Respect them. Following the Stoic values of self-discipline and self-respect, it's important to give yourself time and room to take care of yourself. Do what you like exercise, drawing, listening to music while having a cup of tea, or anything else that gets you going. Finish your responsibilities as soon as you can so you can try this out. You should take this very seriously, so seriously that you should schedule this time every day or every week. So, if someone asks for your help at that time, they need to be very kind and helpful to you, not to the person. So without remorse, you tell them no and enjoy that time and space just for yourself. If you don't want to be so direct, you can offer to help at a different time, but make it clear that you will only be able to help for a short time because you have other things to do. Strategy number 4. Identify energy vampires and distance yourself from them. Following the Stoic principles of self-discipline and wisdom, it's important to know which relationships are good for you and which can drain you mentally. By staying away from people who constantly drain your energy and don't add anything positive, you're taking care of your own health and showing Stoic self-control in your relationships. You should know that if you try to help an energy thief, it won't work. These people overwhelm you with their complaints, their pains, and their catastrophic view of life. Don't bother trying to help them, because if their problems were solved, they would have to stop complaining. That's something they wouldn't tolerate. In conclusion, according to Stoic wisdom, in life, the best measure for things is always the middle ground, and generosity is no exception. If we give too little, we come across as selfish and greedy, while if we give excessively, we end up completely drained of energy, time, and probably money as well. So lean toward the grays, which are still the best choices for finding a balance between putting other people's needs first and putting your own needs first. And if you're ever unsure, just remember the magic word, no. Even more so if they offer to drive you home from the window of their car. We've reached the end of this journey, and I sincerely hope these tips will be of great use to you. Don't forget that you are a crucial part of this channel, so if this video has helped you, made you think, or you've learned something, give it a thumbs up so that more people can discover the powers of Stoic wisdom. And if you haven't already, don't forget to check out our ebook about Stoicism and how to apply it in your own life.